to another episode of Legion Elite Motorsports. I'm your host, Isaiah. And today we're going to do some seats and seat brackets. So let's dive in and see what we got. Okay, so this is how bad the seats are. Let's just call it sunburnt and everything, which is pretty terrible. But what you're gonna do is tape off what you don't want painted and everything, and pretty much get the spraying. So I did the passenger seat just so you can get an idea of the difference, and I have the product that's being used on the actual seat. Not sponsored or anything, but so far so good. It looks pretty good. I'll probably do another coat on top of that, but that is a huge difference. So probably do another coat on that seat and then get started on this seat. So this is the product I decided to use to get it done. And in person it actually looks a lot darker, you know, and what have you, but yeah, I cleaned out the seat and then sprayed it up. So pretty simple, and just take it from there, front and back, and once it's done you just peel your yellow sticker off, and then that's it. So we're going to take this one, open it up, and get started on this seat. So it's already been blown out using a air compressor and a little blower nozzle, just blowing everything out, making sure there's no loose fabric or anything like that. And then let me open this up and then we'll get started. So basically you want to shake this for a couple minutes just to make sure that everything is mixed up properly, which has already been done. Okay, and then you want to spray. It's almost like painting, except you know, this is a little bit more permanent. All right, and then just hit the whole thing until you're satisfied and take it from there. I would highly recommend doing at least 4 coats. You want to give a little rest time in between, because certain parts of the chair is darker than others, and you want to make sure you get it all one tone. And same deal for the seat. So we will go ahead and continue to spray this down. Wasn't a fan of the red stitching anyway, so spray right over that and keep it moving. So looks pretty good. And I bought, geez, I want to say 7 or 8 cans. And on this seat I used 2 or 3. So it wasn't that bad. So figure 6 or 7. 7th is just an extra, just in case. All right. That's a lot of sun beating. So we'll just do it like that and continue on. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys a little preview of how this looks. Okay, there it goes. So I'm gonna finish up and take it from there. Okay, and this is the ending result, minus my knuckle mark on each part in the middle. which will wipe right off. But this is the ending result. It looks great. I love it. Now, I wish I could say that you can, you know, grab you some seats. As long as they have sliders on there, you can pop them right in. But for the Mirage, that is just not the case. So I actually got something to accommodate that issue. Let's bring it out. So we got seat brackets. Now, not just any seat brackets, because there's a couple of people who do make seat brackets that accommodate the Mirage. But the issue I was having with that is they didn't have pictures. And this was the only one I found that actually had pictures. But only problem with these is that they were the most expensive out of the bunch. So these in particular will run you around $320. Add time to it, it'll probably be $360 or better. So the other ones I found were a full set for like $120, $150, but they didn't have pictures. So I'm just gonna assume, and I could definitely be wrong, that they had to make these when you order it. So that's one of the reasons why they didn't have pictures. But they had these in stock, and these are called planted. Make sure your butt stays planted to that seat. Well, seat planted to the car, but long story short, that's what we're gonna be running in the Mirage. So we're gonna hop over to the Mirage and get started. We have some seats to remove and take it from there. Also, a little tip. Those of you who are mechanically, weldingly savvy, you probably could take the original seat and kind of make something work, I'm sure. But this guy doesn't have that type of time. Thus brings us to planted. So anyway, let's get to it. So that brings us here to this lovely night. So first things first, we have to pull out these seats. So we have a bracket here, bracket over there, bracket right here, and one on the opposing side. So let's take those loose. They're 14 millimeter for a handy dandy wrench, and take them apart. And don't forget to unplug your seatbelt sensor. And don't forget to take off your seatbelt clicker right here, including pull out the wire, which goes all the way down here. Okay, just pop that off any way you see fit. And then we're going to get ready for the seat bracket. Okay, so we're gonna take said seat bracket and get planted. There we go. Let's see how she matches up. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so we're going to be moving this bracket in and out. Of course, we're going to test fit the seat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bolt this bracket down, then we're gonna test fit the actual seat and see if we could line up some holes. That would be the easiest thing to do, but yeah, we'll definitely line it up and see what we got. So let's get to it. Seats are a little extra dirty, kids, it's okay. But the seat sits a little bit higher than normal, but that's not too big of a deal. And as far as the rail, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we got some room left to right, so I actually have to center this and then mark it, possibly drill some holes. So I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna start with the front, Then work on the back, especially depending on where everything ends up being. Kind of take it from there. And yeah, this should come out perfectly. Okay, so I just dropped some bolts through, made sure they're equal on both sides, and they are. So now I have to see if I like the driving position, take it from there. Okay, I think I like that position so far. I haven't had to drill any holes so far. There's actually a set of holes here that actually work perfectly. And of course, I'm going to move the seat all the way up to see if those align in the back. But yeah, the position's not too bad. The seat doesn't sit technically too far from the original, if you can look here. But, you know, it's not bad. Yeah, no complaints. I think I just have to bolt down the front, do the rear if I have to drill a hole, which these seats slide, so I'd be able to see if I need to drill a hole and everything. Then I go in through the back, take a peeky peek. See what we got. Yeah, it's off a little bit, but it's not too bad. So yeah, I could definitely tighten that down and then possibly drill the holes in the rear and be good to go. So let's do that. So looking from the back, you could see exactly where the holes need to be drilled, which is not that big of a deal. I could definitely, you know, drill those out, bolt it down, be good to go. Next, besides that, I have to get a screw for the seatbelt holder. The seatbelt holder unthreads from the seat. Then you have to get a bolt, which I have to go to Ace Hardware to see what thread the bolt is, bolt it up, and then that's a done case, I believe. So, actually gonna come out nice. Okay, so, had to drill out a little bit. It matched up perfectly in the front, but in the rear, it was slightly off. I think that was because the previous owner of the seats drilled the holes a little too far forward, but no big deal. Drilled them out on both sides, got a little vacuuming to do, and it is 100% bolted in. So that is that. Let's take a look from the outside. It looks awesome. Of course, I'm gonna have to sit the seat further back because I am a taller individual. So that's pretty much what she's gonna look like as it's being used. But I have to say, now I actually have to scoot the seat a little bit further forward because I could barely reach the pedals. That's good. Okay, so now we're gonna disassemble the passenger side seat and repeat. So we're gonna do the fronts, do the rears, and I'm going to go to Ace to get the push button part for the seat belt. And that's gonna be for both sides. And yes, we're gonna see what it looks like when it's all done. And here we are the next day. So let's take a look at what we got. Ooh, nice. That's a huge difference. And as you can see, there's room on both sides. I still need to go to Ace Hardware to get the other piece of the seat belt threaded so I can lock it in. But yep, this is 1000% better. I love it. It looks great. And that's exactly what I wanted. Nice and comfortable. Doesn't feel like I'm gonna fall out of the seat anymore. And boom, let's take a look-see. That looks great. Okay, so got the seat belt bolted in. Only thing I don't like about it is that it's a little like loose, I guess you could say. And that's all the way tightened down with an impact gun. So don't get no tighter than that. And yeah. So I'm gonna have to figure out something pertaining to the seatbelt, but at least you know, you can buckle up and be safe. So that's all done. And with that being said, we're gonna call it an episode right there. If this is the type of content you like to watch, definitely consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon for updated notifications. But until then, remember, knowledge is power. I'll see you next episode.